fun how it goes kind of like easy listening there at the end. Hi, and welcome to Gaming Source Network, your number one source for all things gaming. This is a GSN Roundtable Extra. My name is Scarlett, and let's just get right to it. But actually, before we get right to it, did you know you can also get the Roundtable as an audio podcast? Search for Gaming Source Network on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts, and you will find us there. Also, if you're watching us live and want to be part of the conversation, we want you to be part of the conversation. So say hi in the chat. And if you want to be sure we bring your message up during the show, use the super chat or super sticker feature on YouTube to show your support for GSN. Last but not least, you can join GSN right here on YouTube. Members get some pretty cool perks, from exclusive community play live streams to early access videos. So click that join button below to learn more and become a member. Hi guys.
Hello.
Good evening. It's been a while since we've had our regular old trout in the.
I know. I was going to say we got the trout back.
I roll myself out of the closet for the big episodes. You know.
I'm like literally imagining you rolling out of a closet like right now. That's good. Well, let's say hi real quick to those who are in the chat. There's this person in here. I don't know who that is.
Just some random
and then
guy.
we've got James in the chat. Hi. And Kumna. So we're getting a few people in here. Thanks for coming, guys. But also, hi Dan. Welcome to your show. What you been up to?
Battling hay fever.
Oof.
Because my body decides that pollen is apparently bad for me and I can't override it for some reason. So it sends out all the forces. So I've got itchy eyes, sneezing. It's all fun and games, really. But
I'm sorry.
Other than that, just plodding along, working on features for the site that no one will ever know about because I won't announce them.
Features on the website that Dan didn't tell anyone about.
I know, we forgot to record the Avery jingle, didn't we? So
yeah. We'll just message him one of these times. Be like, can you just record this and we'll pop it on whenever Dan does something?
No, it's more refinements, to be fair. So just making things work better or look better than what they actually are. There's nothing actually new.
Upping the UX.
Tweaks. Yeah. Things like being able to filter things a bit better and buy more options. So there is some features, I guess. But yeah.
Good stuff. You been playing any games though?
No.
Aside from Pokemon Go.
Yeah, aside from Pokemon Go, no games this week. I fully intend to boot up Resident Evil again because I want to try the Nightmare mode, but I just haven't got around to it yet. And it's been super boiling hot where we are, which is unusual for us as well. So sometimes you just I just want to lie in front of a fan all night and just chill out rather than.
So you guys are the reason we have a heat wave coming.
Yeah.
Now we know. It's our favorite sounds of Stadia in the chat as well. Hey guys.
Hello.
So hi Lee, it's been like for flipping ever.
I know.
What you been up to, and have you been playing any games?
What have I been up to? Well, I've been busy packing up our current house that we live in because we move into a new one next week. It's taking us a while to get there, but we're there. In terms of games, what have I been playing? On Stadia, a bit of Dirt 5.
Okay.
I picked up Lost Words Beyond the Page as well, which is a really good game. I think it's still on sale. It was only like £8 or something like that. It was really good. And other than that, Chivalry 2 on the Xbox, which is a lot of fun, and I really recommend that game. It is so much fun.
That's the game that Felix was playing the other day.
Felix has been, yes.
It looks interesting.
He has been streaming it on GeForce Now for us, so that's been good.
Cool.
No, it's really fun.
Well, we've also got Sednar in the chat and Tom. Thanks for being here, guys. We love having you here to listen to us talk about all of our nonsense. Yep. I took a little bit of a break from gaming because I pushed myself through Mass Effect 1 so I could get that all done. But I started finally getting back into Mass Effect 2 because, like I said last time, I'm really mad that you start out as working for the bad guys. So, but what's really frustrating now is that in my conversations, I can either be neutral in my conversations, or I can just be angry at them. Those are like my only two options. It's like, well, I can't renegade. Oh man, anytime I get Renegade points, I'm like so sad. And this is a new thing too in Mass Effect 2. New to me. Sorry, not new to anybody else in the world. But sometimes, like in the middle of conversation, you can trigger a Renegade or a Paragon action. And the first one they ever show you is a Renegade action, and it's blinking really fast. So it's like, do it. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I click the button, and then I realized it's a Renegade image. And I was like, oh crap, what am I'm going to kill this guy or something. This is going to be stupid. And I'm going to be so mad. Like I was about to like restart from my last save point, which would have been like half an hour of work, but I was going to do it, but I didn't kill anybody. So it was okay. But lesson learned. I
will admit I have done that in Mass Effect previously. I have restarted a save point because I was not happy with the decision I made.
Right? Or like when it's like the thing, oh man, this is the most frustrating part is you'll have your like 3 text options or 3 speech options. And it's like, top one is like, well, good for you, buddy. And the second one was like, that's really cool to hear. And the bottom was like, that's stupid or something like that. And I'll click, good for you, buddy. And what I end up saying is, that's good to hear. It's like, well, why didn't I just say that's good to hear? Because that would have been the neutral option. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's speed through a little bit of this news that we got. We have some Stadia and GFN, and we know that E3 just happened, everybody. But I don't think between the 3 of us, we have all of the options covered. And this horse has been beaten dead, I'm sure. So we'll talk a little bit about things that came up in E3 that might have pertained to Stadia or GFN or just anything else that we're a little bit excited about. Breath of the Wild 2. So let's get to this. Madden NFL 22 is coming to Stadia. Pre-orders are currently live for that. Do either of you guys play Madden or do you guys play the real football games?
Yeah, I play FIFA.
Yeah.
I play real football.
So I do know that when it comes to like these types of games, it's ridiculous because they put out a game every year. So they do 20, 21, 22. So it's really not a new game. And a lot of people complain that these are just reskins. And because there's no new features, all you're doing is just adding a new roster to the exact same thing. In addition, there's really no like difference between which team you choose to play as, other than the fact that there's a different name on the jersey and they're different colors. So, like, have you guys ever played Madden? Like, I'm so bored by these games.
I've played FIFA once. I've never played a Madden game. I'm not really much of a sports person anyway, unfortunately. But I know that obviously these games are quite important because, like, a lot of people were worrying whether this game was going to be coming to Stadia.
Good point.
We've seen a few games where, like, Football Manager, for example, and the F1 where the next iteration hasn't been announced or hasn't come, and obviously people are panicking that this was kind of like a once only deal. And so you know what I mean, again, with it being EA as well, there's that whole 5 games that they were supposed to be bringing to Stadia, so there's obviously speculation as to whether this was one of those 5 games as well. So I'm happy that it's coming. I'm really happy to see it in the chat, in the store. I hope FIFA does come as well, but they're just not really for me, I guess.
And that's fine. Any thoughts on?
I'm too to play actual sports, let alone sports on a game. So
well, and see, I played soccer. Sorry, football, but I played soccer from like 4 to 18, and so I'm like, I can't do a video game version of it because it's not the same. Like that's not real soccer. Like, just nope. Lee, any thoughts on that? I mean, I like that it's coming. I appreciate that it's coming to Stadia. I appreciate that, we have this as opposed to being like halfway through the year and then, oh, hey, by the way, you get 2022 now.
I just echo what you and Dan have said. I'm glad it's coming because there was obviously concerns there that some of these games, their second iterations weren't going to come to Stadia. I fully expect that FIFA 22 will probably follow. So it will be interesting to see once FIFA has arrived, what then follows from EA on Stadia, and if that was the 5-game deal and what happens next. So, but it's good that it's coming.
Yeah. Andrew in the chat, Andrew from our Andrew from our stream team, posted up a question: why don't they just release a game called Madden or FIFA, and then as New Year's in seasons come out, they just throw them out as $20 DLCs? And that's actually not a bad idea, but why would they do that when they could sell a whole game for $60 as opposed to just a DLC?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. You're good.
You said that like they don't come with new features; they just kind of like reskins. I mean, every so often, obviously, a new feature will come. I think there's new features for this one. I couldn't tell you what they are because I've only just skimmed over Twitter, and apparently there's some new features coming to the PS5 or something version of it, which Stadia aren't going to get. But like, I'm sure for the most part, it's something that they could probably do by patches or updates or something like that.
You know, as someone who's played a lot of the FIFA games over the years, they literally are just like a little bit of a refresh. As you said, Dan, every so often they add a new feature. Mainly, it's something like they change the way it's like some part of the game feels, like the defending feels a little bit different, or the goalkeeper AI has been improved, things like that. And they really could just like, as Andrew said, pay 20 quid and you get a little bit of a new version to it rather than a full-on, £60 game, whatever,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's cool. It's coming, and that's exciting. So there's at least that to look forward to. That a dead system, sorry, not even a system, that a dead platform has games coming. So, I mean, shoot. Just Dance 2022, so another 22 game, has also been confirmed. I've never actually tried out Just Dance. I did like DDR, so like Dance Dance Revolution, and then I got really good at it where I was able to play it on a controller and I didn't even have to use the pad. I was so good.
Do you not have a dance mat or something?
Oh no, I had the dance mat.
Yeah.
What
Do you
I
see
really
the Stadia dance mat coming anytime?
That would be cool. But I mean, would it? I mean, you have to have. Well, no, because Just Dance is different. So Just Dance is different for DDR. DDR has the dance pad, but if I'm understanding this right, Just Dance doesn't use a dance pad. You just kind of.
I think it uses your mobile.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've got it on the Switch and it uses the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't know because I'm too for dancing. But...
Well, we have it coming. Is this right? November 2022? Is it supposed to be 2021? Oh no, 2021.
Yeah.
So down below it says 2021, but up top it says 2022. We're gonna get that fixed for you guys. So the third entry from the franchise is coming to Stadia, scheduled to release on November of 2021. So coming in November, y'all can work off those Thanksgiving, for those of you who are here, Thanksgiving calories with a little bit of Just Dancing. Rainbow Six Extraction has been confirmed for Stadia. And also, following that, Rainbow Six Siege has a release date. Let's see here. Rainbow Six Extraction is coming September. Sorry, I was about to say November again. September 16th, but then we have Rainbow Six Siege coming June 30th. So that's actually just right around the corner. So for those of you who are big fans of the Tom Clancy stuff, Rainbow Six is coming. Do you guys... I know that we've talked Tom Clancy a lot before. Are you guys big fans of the Rainbow Six kind of stuff?
I played a bit of Siege. Yeah. Siege is a really good game actually. It's quite tense, and if you can get a good team playing with your friends, it can be a lot of fun. That's going to be a good game for Stadia.
See, the last Rainbow Six game I played was actually Vegas 2.
Yeah.
On the 360. So, but yeah, I do like these kind of games.
I think Siege is quite similar, isn't it? Like, playing Vegas 2, online and that. I think Siege has got a similar sort of.
I do need to kind of get back into these type of games as well. I think I got so engrossed in like Call of Duty back on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One that I kind of stopped looking at other shoot 'em up games as much. And then I found Destiny, which took all of my time up as well. So I've kind of missed out on a lot of these games. So to be able to go back and experience Siege will be good. And obviously Extraction, which used to be Quarantine. So they've changed the name for obvious reasons.
I'm just saying though, like, let's just be honest. Quarantine happened and is still happening and will continue to happen. We can't just keep futzing around and like ignoring the like.
Yeah, Quarantine was a better name than Extraction. But
yeah, I mean, it's just like how Gods and Monsters was clearly the superior title.
Project Orpheus.
Yeah, like come on, let's just use the words because they exist for a reason. But
I'm happy that obviously because we've known that these games might be coming for a while. I think Quarantine and Siege, we've known about it for months as potentially coming, but they were just never confirmed. But then there's always that, like, because Ubisoft have supported Stadia so much, we've known that they were coming. So to finally have it announced, the Stadia logos there and present, do you know what I mean? It's probably one of the highlights of this whole E3 period, to be fair.
I'm sorry, I have to address this. Jacob asking, wasn't Gods and Monsters changed for some copyright thing? Supposedly, Monster Energy Drink was not happy with the term, the game title, Gods and Monsters, because they were worried that it would somehow wreck their image, which is stupid because Immortals Phoenix Rising has been an immensely popular game. So therefore, it would have only have helped for those who were playing Gods and Monsters to have been drinking their Monster Energy Drink while killing some monsters. So let's be honest here. Monster Energy Drink made the stupidest decision ever. If that's how this actually went. But I don't actually know. That's just what I've heard.
You could have had Zeus just like crack open a cannon like halfway through the game.
Why fight it when they could have actually worked together on this kind of thing? Like
things like this, I just don't understand how you could kind of like own the word monsters, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, well, you can't, especially so. There can even be, you have Gerber, the baby company, right? They make baby food, all sorts of baby products, and then in Washington there was the Gerber Door and Window Factory. Same exact name, two very different companies. Therefore, they did not infringe on anything. Therefore, also, the Monster Energy Drink, sure, is maybe associated with gamers, but Gods and Monsters, the game, two totally separate things. But the issue being is that because it was a relatively small game, don't want to have to fight about it, we'll step aside.
You see, the WWF thing made sense because that, like, you didn't want people elbow dropping pandas from this side of the ring. So, but
pandas.
And the thing is, well, I'm sure, like, you know, Monster Energy probably make most of their, or a lot of the money from gamers as well, actually, don't they?
Actually, I'm pretty sure they do.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever been down. Have you ever been to any of the EGX shows in the UK? You know,
I went to Game Fest a few years ago. It was sponsored by some energy drink, actually, but I can't remember.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I've been to, like, I think 3 EGX events now. And literally, the last one I went to was sponsored by Monster Energy, and they were just giving out cans of the stuff.
Yeah, I think ours was Mountain Dew. I just left a bag of Mountain Dew and posters, yeah.
And you think,
I had a friend in high school who would go through 3 thermoses, like the big ones of Monster Energy drinks during the high school day. It was terrible. Moving on. Let's see here. Riders Republic has also got a release date for September 2nd.
Now, I've said that I'm not really into my sports, yeah?
Yeah.
And I had zero interest in this game until I saw a trailer for it the other day, and I was like, it has snowboarding in it. It has downhill mountain biking in it. And I'm like, these are the kind of the sports that I can get behind because there's a kind of danger element to it. And like back in my youth, I was Danger Dan. I used to climb buildings. I used to jump off buildings. I used to do. Like,
we're renaming your live stream segments to Danger Dan. Danger Dan. It is no longer X2I Games. It's Danger Dan.
Enter Dan's Danger Zone.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to have no fear as a child. I'd jump off anything. I'd do a forward flip off things, and so kind of extreme sports are more my thing. And I actually did do snowboarding for a while. So this is about as close to SSX tricky as I think I'm going to get on Stadia for a while. So I'll probably be picking this game up.
All right. I will work on your YouTube thumbnails tonight. I mean, I think it's fun. I'm not terribly I had friends who actually did this kind of stuff, and it was like, you guys are stupid. You're going to kill yourselves. But I mean, it's cool. What I love about everything that we've just listed is we've gone from a sports game to a dancing game to a first-person shooter game to now Riders Republic, which is just kind of an everything game. And so we've got like a whole bunch of different things here, and that's the exciting part of this list that we just went through. And speaking of excitement, the next game on this list is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, is announced for 2022. And I'm not even... Dan's like reading my mind over here. Dan's reading. Oh, Dan's over here like reading my mind in the show notes. I'm like, what's going on? I love Avatar, and I love open world exploration. I'm like one of the biggest fans of Skyrim. And when they the first thing that shows up, I was like, oh, this is such a beautiful world. And then I see the Avatar people. They're not the Avatar, sorry. They're the Pandoran people. But you got the Pandorans running around. I was like, oh my gosh, this is an Avatar game. And my husband's just like looking at me like, oh crap. So that's been announced and coming to Stadia, which is awesome, in 2022, which is also awesome because I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering this right, and I'm about to go look this up, but we got the second movie coming out, I think this year, and then they're scheduled for bi-yearly releases for 3, 4, and 5. So we've got movie, game, movie. Are we going to get another game? Because that'd be awesome. But anywho, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, open world exploration of Pandora. You guys excited about this? I'm excited about this. You should be excited.
I haven't actually seen the trailer for it yet, to be fair. Which I know I'm slacking because I'm supposed to know all this stuff.
It's okay.
I guess I can watch it afterwards and see. But I like the films. I think the films are pretty good, and something like that. There's a lot of lore that they could probably put into the games that they wouldn't have had time to put into the films.
But I hope that they see. That's the issue, though, is because I don't know if this is supposed to be a canon game. Then now I feel obligated, like I have to play the game, which I don't enjoy that kind of stuff because they do this thing with like Sword Art Online, and so like I've watched like the anime and I know nothing else about anything else that has to deal with Sword Art Online. So that could be a thing. I hope that it's more of like a historical type thing, but it's not gonna. But it's not, because we've got mechs and we've got humans in there too.
I mean, I don't know whether this would kind of like, whether it'd work or whether it would ruin the narrative of the game and the films. But you could have like the game be its own, you know what I mean, plot that's not. Doesn't relate to the film, but then you could have some kind of nods to the film in terms of like, I don't know, you know how in Resident Evil games, for example, you can pick up things that you can read that tell you bits about the world of Resident Evil. So they could kind of
reference things like Jake Sully.
Or you could unlock things that were related to the film that don't ruin the story in the game.
It's something that's actually been done before, Dan. I don't know. Do you guys ever watch the TV show Defiance? There was a game released called, I think it was an MMO on last gen consoles and PC, I think it was, and that tied in with the TV series.
Oh yeah,
and you could unlock things that, you know, from the TV series, and it had a bit of a tie-in going on with it. Yeah,
cool.
So
I have a funny story about that game. So I actually got bought by that game by a friend. He actually bought me the game because I completed a dare. We was at a Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet, and he dared me to get some ice cream in a bowl and cover it in sweet and sour sauce, put chicken nuggets on top of it and eat it. And me being stupid, I ate it, and it was actually quite nice, to be fair. Sweet and sour sauce on ice cream. So he was good on his word, and he bought me Defiance because he really wanted me to play it.
So it sounded more like, I want to buy you the game anyway, but what stupid thing can I make you do to make you think?
Pretty much sums him up, yeah.
All right, Danger Dan.
Speechless now.
I'm trying to like segue this.
And the couple that was sat opposite us were just watching us like, what is he doing?
Well, while you're eating your sweet and sour sauce on your ice cream this weekend, you can also play PGA Tour 2K21 this weekend for free. So there you go. You get to enjoy some like weird food and free games. So hop to it. I don't know. I want to get through these headlines real quick too, which you can read more on StadiaSource.com, your number one source for all things Stadia that hasn't gone anywhere. By the way, guys, Stadia Source is still around and still hopping. So we got Dead by Daylight and Resident Evil crossover coming up, or has it gone live?
It's live now. I don't know if they actually pulled the Resident Evil, the Raccoon City Police Department map. I heard they pulled it because it was buggy, but I'd have to double check to see if that's still the case.
Where's Dom? We need Dom.
I know. Dom's
the resident.
Get your butt in here.
Dead by Daylight expert.
I'm sure someone in the chat will know.
So we've also got playtest for the Division Heartland. So signups for the playtest. Stadia has been confirmed for that. Instinction, I've never heard of that, is coming to Stadia.
And to be fair, Lee, I think you've got a little bit to kind of add to that one because you were
because I spoke to Jade Saunders from Hashbane Studios back in April when there was the Twitter user, I want to say his name right, I want to say Bebop, who had he had tweeted at them and said, listen, could the game come to Stadia? And they said, yeah, if there's enough interest, definitely we could do it. And it blew up and there was a lot of interest. So they said, yeah, okay, we'll look at bringing a Stadia port. And I talked with them at the time. They said, we'll keep you updated. And then I got an email from Jade, just going through some of the details, and they really want to bring the game to Stadia day and date next year with the other platforms. But as they're a self-funded studio, at the moment they would need to basically rely on the funds from the sales of the game on the other platforms, like Xbox and PlayStation. So I just said, well, we can do an article and maybe we can help and drum up a bit of support. And, if we can get you guys in contact with Stadia and maybe Stadia can help you, excellent. So yeah, obviously we did the article and I got them in contact with another developer who was going through a similar process. And I know they're talking now to try and get some help from Stadia. The other thing they said they're looking into is maybe partnering up with a publisher, and they did say they're speaking to a couple of publishers at the moment. Nothing's guaranteed, but they have said to the publishers one of the main points is they want the game on Stadia, so it's got to happen. So it is going to come to Stadia, hopefully, if they can get a little bit of support from the Stadia guys or someone else that will come to Stadia day and date next year. So
sweet.
If you're into this type of game like dinosaurs, I think it's a lot like the Dino Crisis games.
Yeah, it's basically like a spiritual successor to the Dino Crisis games. It looks really good.
If you're interested, go and follow them on Twitter. Go follow their Facebook, tweet them out. Just go and show them all support you can.
I will say, about Jane in the studio is she has been so open and so forthcoming with basically every part of the process that they've been working on this game. She's with her emails that she sent me, and as I said, she's just been so open and so forward. And they really want to get this game on Stadia as soon as they can, but not just, they don't want to rush it. They just want to deliver a really quality version of the game on Stadia as well. So, and they're passionate about it, really passionate about it. They've been really, really good.
That's really cool to hear. Nim is asking, what was the link again? So if you guys want to go ahead and drop that into the chat so that people can find it.
The article or?
I think just a link to like their page or something.
I'll just drop a load of links. You can follow whichever one you want.
I don't know. I think we did know that Chris Tales is coming to Stadia, didn't we? I feel like we've written about this actually a couple of times.
That's been coming for months, weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a slightly odd bit of news, but the Stadia Progressive Web app appears to be rolling out to Android users. So now you don't have to tell your mobile that you're in desktop mode to play Stadia on the mobile, when really you should just play it through the app on mobile. But, you know, for those of you who like to make it complicated and play on desktop mode, you don't have to do that anymore. For some of you, Adam, aka Original Penguin, shared it off. Yeah. So that's kind of fun for those of you who like to make things complicated.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if you would ever use this, but like we have these like type of handheld devices at work that have got like scanners on. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're supposed to scan products and stuff with them. They're just Android devices, but they're like very, very old versions of Android. So the Stadia app doesn't work on the Play Store. So you can actually play Stadia on the Progressive Web app on these. Not that I ever would, but you can.
Dan.
So
Dan's like, is my boss watching?
I know, yeah. Love my internet history. But technically, you probably could use this to play Stadia on devices that wouldn't support it natively. I don't know why you would. Most people have quite modern devices. But then again, it might be that, for example, devices that don't necessarily have access to the Play Store as well. You could just load up the web page. I know that, for example, you can get the Stadia web page to work on Microsoft Edge on Xbox, for example. Mm-hmm. So this would probably allow you to play on a lot more devices that you previously couldn't, at least without using the desktop hack as well.
And I had this thought too, Sammy also saying in the chat, that it allows you to do the direct streaming. How many people have, like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really see many people streaming from their phones.
The cowboy used to.
Oh, well, that's Anthony.
Yeah. On his lunch break.
Yeah. And then also Stadia game filtering joins experimental features. What's this? I don't know this one. This one's newish.
Imagine you've got quite a big catalog of games on Stadia so far. Mm-hmm. If you've claimed all your pro games and obviously bought games along the way, mm-hmm. or you're looking through the store and you've clicked on all games, and all of a sudden, like, all those games that apparently aren't on Stadia, you're scrolling through them for ages and ages and trying to look for the ones you want. Wouldn't it be quicker if you could just type FIFA and it takes you straight to FIFA, rather than having to scroll down to your F? So this is what this is basically. It's not a full feature yet. You have to enable it through experimental mode on the Stadia app. But all it does, it just adds a bar at the top, a search bar, if you like.
So I have to ask, Dan, are these your screenshots in our article?
Probably, yeah. Why?
Do you have the pug sandwich or whatever that is your icon?
The dog burger.
The dog burger. It's a
burger forever until I get the Stadia controller, the new one. I thought you was going to comment on the fact that I'd searched for ass.
Yes, that's what I was going. That's what I was going with.
I'd actually discovered that the search was broken because I tried to search for the best game on Stadia, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey didn't appear. So
clearly, there's something wrong here.
There's some bugs, I think, that Stadia need to work out with that new search feature.
But yes, that's why I was pointing it out, because excellent screenshot there, Dan. Beautifully done. Well, that's cool though. I still find it hilarious that we don't have a search function
for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you
go.
I
started searching.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, you'd think that from the beginning we'd have some kind of search feature. It is kind of ridiculous that it takes a experimental feature to finally be able to search for things that we want. But anywho,
just got me to do it because I mean I am a developer, so
yeah, honestly, So there's that that thing going around right now of hire fans, because somebody did one of the most terrible things I've ever seen. They decided to beautify Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. We got rid of her freckles and like smoothed her hair and made her a little bit like, I honestly don't think she's prettier. It looks terrible, but in his opinion, she made him he made her pretty, and it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. And so there's that whole thing going around of hire fans, and people were like changing various characters. So like somebody took God of War Kratos and like makeup to him and like gave him these glasses and all that stuff. So anyway,
I mean, if you think about
that's well, hang on. So that's the wrong side of hire fans. When we say hire fans, we mean hire people like Dan, who does stuff and get things done.
I was going to say, I mean, Sonic's a great example of this. I mean, if you take Sonic Mania, for example, it was developed by people like Christian Whitehead, they're not members of Sega. They're just fans that have made great ports of these games and they've gone on to make, you know what I mean, actual versions of these games. And then if you look at the Sonic community as well, there's one game, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. If anybody's really interested, I can find it and send it to them. But they've basically made like a Sonic game. It's kind of semi-open world, but it's the most beautiful Sonic game I've ever seen. And I don't think we're ever going to see an official release of something that good for Sonic. Do you know what I mean? And that was built by fans as well. So
here's a question. Would you play Sonic if it was in the format of Mario Odyssey? Like, would that be an exciting game for you?
See, I'm more of a fan of the 2D stuff. Like, I have the 3D ones have a place in my heart, but like when Sonic Colors Remaster was announced, I was like, nah. If Sonic Mania 2 got announced, I'd be like, let's go.
Danger Dan in the house. All right, fair enough. So moving on from our one true love, Stadia, moving into our second true love of GFN, we have some new games that are coming. And actually, I know some of these titles. That's amazing. Humankind has a closed beta on Steam and through Epic Games Store. So for those of you who are part of those, you can do those through GFN now, which is kind of cool.
We did Stadia beat them to the Humankind beta, though.
Yeah.
For what it's
fine. We still love GFN. Overcooked 2, which, by the way, is really, really, really hard. We played Overcooked 1, and like we probably played Overcooked 1 in the worst way possible, which was like binged it for like 6 hours. Don't ever do that. It's a harrowing experience. But Overcooked 2 starts you at like the complicated level of the last level in Overcooked 1. It's hard. Like really hard.
I'm gonna say if you like your Xbox gamer score, like me, I have got this. I don't know how what I would say it is, but my gamer score has to end in a 0 or a 5. If it ends in anything else, I freak out. So when xCloud was first started testing, Overcooked was one of the games they put on. So I thought, yeah, I'll give this a go. So then, like a few minutes playing the game, an achievement popped for one gamer score. And I literally had to go and buy, it was like 2 or 3 different games from the Xbox store and sit and work out how I would then get my gamer score back to a 0 or a 5. So me and Overcooked do not have a good relationship. And I don't know if Overcooked 2 is the same.
At least you didn't rent like Barbie's My Horse and Me Too or whatever it was, so I could get some gamer score.
I am guilty of something similar. I rented that
Hannah Montana?
No, what was it? Not Avatar.
Oh
The
my
Last
gosh.
Airbender. What was it?
Yeah.
You know, that one you could get like 1,000 gamer score in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I rented that years ago just to get the 1,000 gamer score.
Oh my gosh. Then there's me over here. I don't even care. Oh man. Well, anywho, Overcooked II, though, which is also free on the Epic Games Store until June 24th. So those of you who are fans of Overcooked, not Lee, you can go ahead and go pick that up. Rogue Book, which is a day-and-date release on Steam, June 17th. Panzer Corps 2 through the Epic Games Store pathway through Steam. Supraland, not Super, Supra. Supraland, Steam, Sword and Fairy and Sword and Fairy 2, also through Steam, through GFN. The Universim, which sounds like a universal simulator game, but I could be way off base, also through Steam. And then World of Warships, because who doesn't want to fight a world war through your ships? Epic Games Store. Any of these on your guys' playlist at all?
So the amount of times I wrote Panzer Crops 2, like it was some sort of farming simulator game.
Core.
Yeah. The Universe Sim, it looked interesting from the trailer. There was a lot of like funky buildings with flashy lights. Looked like something on acid, I guess. Sword and Fairy and Sword and Fairy 2, unless you can speak Chinese, or unless you don't mind not knowing what they're saying, probably steer away from these, because I think these are only available in Chinese and traditional Japanese or something like that. So I guess they could be fun if you just make up what they're saying.
Yeah, I usually do that.
As to the other ones, I've not really heard anything about them, to be fair.
Anything on there for you, Lee?
No, don't think so.
Well, it's cool, though. GFN's got more games added that you can access through them, so that's always really exciting for people who don't have a rig that they can play some of these higher-end games on. Or for those who just like to collect, now more of your game library is available in one spot, so you don't have to hop all over the place. So that's really exciting. I do love the idea of GFN. I still have personally never used it, because I am lucky enough to not need something like that. But I know that there's plenty of people out there who do need something like GFN, so I'm excited for these guys. So that's really cool stuff.
There's also the offer at the moment as well, isn't there? If you purchase an NVIDIA Shield or an NVIDIA Shield Pro through the GeForce or NVIDIA website, you get 3 months GeForce Now Priority membership.
Yeah. And then I think also for those who sign up through the free tier, you get 3 days of priority just automatically to try it out for your first 3 days.
Like during E3.
Yeah, and like there's no like you don't have to like put in your card or anything. You just get it for 3 days. So that's really cool. Yeah.
You can find out about it on this lovely green website here. Look.
And if you'd like to read more, of course, you should visit gfnsource.com, where you can read up on all of the GFN GeForce Now news that we have been posting up. And also don't forget about stadiasource.com, where you can read up on any of the Stadia headlines as well. Drop a comment, hit the likes.
Plum and Sunset website.
Yes, Plum and Sunset. Beautiful stuff. All right. Well, I don't have any segues related to fishnets, so we're moving on to the hot topic.
You get one of these anyway.
Yay! For those of you who are listening and don't know what that was the Dom Pom as done by Dan.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually what we're going to call it now. We're going to call it the Dom Pom. So for those of you who may be a little bit confused, we titled this one a Roundtable Extra, the GSN State of Pod, which was supposed to be a play on Sony's State of Play, but I guess it concerned a lot of you guys. Don't worry, there's nothing to be concerned about, I promise. So for this extra, we're calling it an extra just because it's a little bit shorter of a podcast. We're just going to let you guys know there's been a lot of changes happening on the backgrounds of GSN. Nothing bad, I promise. GSN isn't going anywhere. Stadia Source isn't going anywhere. GFN Source isn't going anywhere. We're still here. But the podcast is going to take a little bit of a back burner. For right now, we don't know how long. But the podcast is taking a bit of a back burner just because we need to recenter what GSN is and where we're putting people. As you guys know, last week, Avery had informed everybody that he was leaving. He was parting ways with GSN. He's just a very busy person, especially as his job is becoming more of a physical job as opposed to being an at-home job, so he had to leave. So we're just going to take a little bit of time to kind of recenter and refocus on what GSN is and what we offer to you guys. But I want you guys to know the live streams are still going to be here. The Stadia Source news and reviews, the GFN news and reviews, that's all still going to be here. The News Bite will come back eventually. I know you guys have been enjoying that, getting to just kind of get your bite-sized bit of news. So we're just kind of taking a little bit of time to make sure that we are where we know we need to be to give you guys the highest quality that we can provide.
Yep.
But also we have the Speaking of Stadia pod that's every other week as well, so you guys can get your Stadia news from them. Be sure to go check them out. They're wonderful people. Yeah, there we go. Jacob. Speaking of Stadia, I didn't even read that as I was saying it.
Yeah,
But
I was going to add that on to what you were saying, but you already had it covered. So
we just wanted you guys to be aware that the roundtable, short of any big news coming out, will be on a little bit of a back burner for now. If you guys have any questions, find us on our Discord or hit us up on Twitter. We're happy to talk with you guys about any of this good stuff. Nothing's changing. We're just taking a little bit of a break when it comes to the roundtable because we value what we can provide you guys. We don't want that to become any less than our best. So that means we're going to have to take a little bit of time and we'll be back. Dan, do you have any words you want to add to that?
Yes, Sammy, it does.
Sammy, we're supposed to be adults here. I'm not repeating that out loud, by the way. So for those of you who are listening to this, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really add more than what Scarlett already said, to be fair. We just need to recenter, refocus. Obviously, we want to make sure that we can bring the best podcast and have like regular people on that are knowledgeable, know what they're talking about, and actually have a passion for games as well. Not that any of us don't, but we just want to obviously bring the best of what we have in the team forwards. We've had quite a few like lineup changes in the background at GSN, so we kind of just, refocusing who's doing what and when and where. I'm going to be taking over certain things, and new people are coming in and doing different things. So yeah, it's a little upsetting to say that it won't be every single week for a little while, but once we come back, I'm sure we'll be back stronger than we ever were. So
indeed.
And I love hanging out with everybody here. It's like I say, it's great to see Lee back on. And Scarlett, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you as well. So we just want to make sure we can bring that love going forward.
Yeah. Lee, you have anything you want to add?
No, I think Dan's covered it pretty well. I think, yeah, we just need to regroup, recenter, and we'll be back as good as or better than we've ever been. So,
for sure. And we'll also get back into the swing of having some guests on our shows as well. Again, it's just been kind of all over the place. In fact, I'm realizing now I'm also going to have to message one of our guests who was supposed to come on in like 2 weeks. Well, I got to talk to her about that. Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for being here, guys. We're going to go through this outro real quick and then we'll say goodnight. But we're going to, I had it and I closed it. And while I'm typing that up real quick, I'll pull it up. I seriously had the tab open and then I was like, I don't need any of these tabs anymore. So I closed them all. Okay, let's see here. So we share this with a screen, with a window, with a thing like that. And then we add it to the stream. Haha, there we go. So thank you everybody for being here. Oh, you don't need to see that. Thank you everybody. I forgot that I was sharing my screen. We appreciate those who have been in the chat. We really love seeing what you guys have to say. But also we want to say thank you to the supporters who have been willing to put a little bit of their monetary support into this as well. We really appreciate that. We got some platinum tier. We got some gold tier. We got the silver and the bronze. For all of those who bought us a hot chocolate as well. And big thank you to all those who were past supporters. We really appreciate everything that you've been willing to give to us. Yes, show notes. Sorry, Sammy.
Nothing secret in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just
nothing-
nicely
nothing
laid
there.
out. In fact, I mean, shoot, this is probably one of the best show notes that you'll ever see. So, got that going. If you are listening to the podcast, you can join us live eventually on Thursday evenings right here on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can, well, that doesn't make any sense. That got worded around differently. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you can download our podcasts on Spotify, Pocket Casts, and everywhere else you get podcasts. In fact, if you're not watching, there we go. I just edited those show notes. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GamingSourceNet, but also don't forget at StadiaSource and at GFNSource. Join our Discord at stadiasource.com/Discord and check out all new GSN, GFNS, and SS merch at stadiasource.com.
I got my new hat.
/merch. Yeah, so Dan's also got the new hat. You got to show them the back as well. If you want to rep some of that GSN pride.
Got it today.
Yeah. Rooster, I am sorry that we won't be here every week. But again, we want to make this the best that we can. And that just means we're going to have to take a step back. Hosting was generously provided by Rock. If your business is looking for a tech powerhouse to launch the next big app, want to implement some cutting-edge AI, or simply need the best web development money can buy, check out all the services provided by rokk.co.uk, celebrating 20 years next year. And if you haven't already, down below is a thumbs up button that lets us know you liked the show. And right next to it is a subscribe button that lets you know every time we post a new video. Don't forget to hit that bell so that lets you know anytime we go live. You can also become a member of Gaming Source Network channel by clicking the join button below with great perks at every level of your budget. I've been your host, and on behalf of Gaming Source Network, your number one source for all things gaming, and our fantastic Dan.
Thank you.
And our fantastic Lee. There we go. It's so annoying that StreamYard does this backwards.
We've missed you, Lee.
Thanks for joining us on the GSN Roundtable, and have a good one.